Shout out to the Cows gang, man. You already know who this is, Mr. Palmer, aka Boss Daddy, and we got to talk about this bizarre, crazy, up situation right here. Take a look at this dude right here. You have a 56-year-old by the name of Robert Dorgan, who was married to his wife about, I believe it was 30 years. But he decided to become transgender. So, getting divorced, but there's so many twists and turns behind this situation. Now, he decided to go to the Rink because they had other families that was there. He has 6 kids, and he decided at this rink, roller rink, he decided to kill his wife and one of his sons. You can't make this up. And not only that, he shot his father-in-law. I believe he shot his mother-in-law. He shot other people, and they are in critical condition, not knowing if they're gonna make it or not. This is up. Oh hell no! Now the twist about this, and I'll get to that soon, but it stemmed from him having a sex change or the change. I don't know how he did it because it's different ways, but he dressed as a woman, high heels and all that stuff. And the wife was like, I'm not gonna stay married to you. Filed for divorce. His older daughter said that he's been going through mental health crisis and stuff like that, issues with the family. But I'm not gonna lie to you, despite on how I feel as far as, becoming trans and all that stuff, it seems like he's being with, and he decided to go ahead and do his execution the way he felt he had to do. It is what it is. Now, I want to ask y'all, Cows Gang, in your opinion, do you believe that any man or any woman decide to get a sex change and becomes transgender as a male or transgender as a woman? Do you feel that's mental illness? Do you believe that's some type of mental health crisis? Let me know in the comment section. Because when a man do like this, murdering their family, and you say mental health, you have a lot of women say, "Oh no, there ain't no mental health. This piece of shit." But when it's the other way around, oh, you don't know what they went through. It's 2 sides to every story, and you don't know what he did to that woman, pro-woman, why she killed all her kids. We're gonna talk about that. But first, I want y'all to hear from the older daughter that talk about the situation at hand. Check it out.
There are funerals to pay for. And if you want to help, there's a GoFundMe page set up to help this family shattered tonight, just 24 hours after the gunfire. NBC 10's Molly Levine picks up that part of the story. She's in North Providence. Molly?
Well, Gina, Amanda tells me that her father struggled with mental health issues for his entire adult life. She says that he had been living in Maine, but it really wasn't unusual for him to show up at his son's hockey games here in Rhode Island.
He shows up to Colin's games often. So I wasn't terribly surprised.
The daughter of the suspected shooter who opened fire in the stands at the Dennis Lynch Arena Monday, describing the moments before her family's lives changed forever.
He actually walked up to us while we were sitting in the stand, and then I looked at him and he turned around and walked away.
Later, shots rang out. Fans took cover and players skated off the ice. Amanda says the shooter was a father of 6 and the victims were all family members. His ex-wife Rhonda and son Aiden were killed. Aiden recently proposed to his fiancée, who was also at the game, but not injured. Amanda says they were all in the stands supporting her brother Colin. The 17-year-old was playing on the ice at the time and wasn't injured. Pawtucket police identified the gunman as Robert Dorgan, who also went by Roberta Esposito. Amanda just referred to him as Rob, or her father.
I think his gender identity issues are a symptom of a deeper issue.
She says her father struggled with mental health for most of his adult life.
He was ostracized from the family because he had a long history of violence and abuse.
But as for the motive Monday,
there was no boiling point, there was no tipping point, there was no signs?
No, he's always had a very bizarre way about him.
She says the focus is now on her surviving siblings, Ava, a hardworking nursing student, and Colin, a high school senior, launching this GoFundMe in hopes to support them financially.
But Ava and Colin have a long road ahead of them. Their grandparents were also impacted by this. I just want to make sure that the focus remains on, supporting them, through the coming months and years.
I want y'all to understand, Cal's gang, that that was the daughter, Amanda. He didn't kill her. That he's been struggling since his adult life, mental health, and from what I read, it seems like since he became a trans, because that's when he started getting basically outcast from the family, in-laws, his family, the wife. Oh, we're gonna talk about this one. It's a lot of bizarre shit going on. So you saw about the son who got killed, and I will say it's unfortunate that that happened because he's there, the family there. They say he's known for being around the son he killed. He was at his graduation pictures with him in his dress and everything. Nothing new, I guess the son accepted him, I guess. I don't know. The son that got killed, I want y'all to check this out, though. You do feel bad about the son, right? Because grown or not, that ain't got nothing to do with him. But I want y'all to take a look at this. I want you to look at the title. Rhode Island trans shooter's son, 37 years old, jailed for torching black churches.
Shit.
You can't make this up. I want you to understand.
Bruh.
Father killed him. He locked up last year for torching black churches. I wonder why he did all that. And here's the tripped out part about it, though. Robert, the father, transgender, he support the Nazis. If you go on his X page, he support the Nazi. He even said some anti-Asian.
Truth is what it is.
I may show the screenshots, may not. But I want you to understand that his son was jailed for burning black churches. And what it says is, the church, which the deranged arsonist labeled as a place of worship for atheist God mockers, in a text to his family after the blaze. We're gonna call him Kevin. He's one out of the 6 children from Robert Dorgan. He had 3 different women, and he served nearly 7 years in Texas federal prison. So he's not a saint. He liked to burn black churches. And it's also a disturbing notebook in his home filled with racist rhetoric, including the entry that read, "Gun everyone down that isn't white.
Buttermilk biscuits.
If one is white, spread the gospel. Always give our bloodline a chance." That's what he got in his diary, I guess, notebook. And he was sentenced in June to 7-8 months behind bars in Federal Medical Center in Fort Worth, Texas. And here's another picture of him, like he's cheesing at the store. Now, locals close to the family told that Dorgan, who murdered his ex-wife and 23-year-old son and critically wounded 3 others when he opened fire at the high school hockey game at the ice rink Monday afternoon, said that influenced his son with this twisted obsession of race. So basically, the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
Truth is what it is.
But I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think you could be a transgender and worship the Nazis, because Nazis and white supremacy, they don't want no rainbow coalition involved with them. They're against them type of people too. But I mean, what do I know? Now, this is crazy. Now back to Robert. Robert, the one who decided to become trans, he did a gender reassignment surgery back in 2020 and had vile Nazi tattoos on his bicep. He had history of spewing anti-Semite and racist filth on social media. I told y'all about that with the Asian. I ain't see about nothing else. But what he said was anti-Asian slur that he applied in the video, praising Adolf Hitler, saying that really nice, but the CHIN last letter made that song. It was a video singing about some Nazi video, but he was like, yeah, but it's a anti-Asian slur that made that song. Now, this dude transgender, but he was a workout. He was a workout alcoholic as far as working out. Workaholic, he worked out like a, you know what I'm saying? But I want y'all to see another twist of this motherfucker. on who he married, the person he was married to for 30 years and got divorced, I want y'all to understand this one right here. This is some psych right here. Check this out. If y'all thought that was bizarre with his son, take a look at his ex-wife. Now, his ex-wife name is Rhonda Dorgan. And you know, normally when you get divorced, what should happen that the wife go back to her maiden name. I want you to understand that her maiden name is Rhonda Dorgan.
Wait a minute.
What's the husband name? Robert Dorgan.
What?
So I know what y'all saying. Wait a minute. Mr. Palmer, how is her maiden name Rhonda Dorgan when she married Robert Dorgan? You wanna know how? These motherfuckers are first cousins. Huh? You can't make this shit up. Pastor David Manning, please speak your piece.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You are crazy.
This crazy, twisted ass relationship / marriage. I want you to understand that according to the records, it showed that the killer had the same name as his murdered ex and her parents. Now the parents, which is his mother-in-law, but we'll get to that. Mother-in-law, father-in-law was seriously injured. They're still in critical condition. That him and Rhonda were first cousins before they tied the knot. They was first cousins, blood related, no bullshit. And let me show y'all, let me go down to it. At first, the reason for the shooter to have the last name as the ex-wife's parents was not immediately clear, but the outlet showed through their family tree in the 1950 census, Edward Dorgan is his wife, Eva Dorgan, lived in Smithfield, Rhode Island at the time with their two sons, Raymond Dorgan and Robert J. Dorgan. Robert is the transgender. Robert J. Dorgan was the father of the trans shooter, Robert Dorgan. So Robert J. Dorgan is the senior and Robert Dorgan is the junior transgender. And Raymond Dorgan fathered Gerald Dorgan, who was the victim in the shooting and remains in critical condition. So her father, the ex-wife father, and Raymond Dorgan, that's father and son. You can't make this up. And Gerald Dorgan is, was a victim in the shooting, remained in critical condition with his wife, Linda. You cannot make this up. Gerald and Linda were the parents of Rhonda Dorgan, who would marry Robert Dorgan, would go on to massacre his family before turning the gun on himself. Yes, he committed suicide. Oh, no. And, they divorced because he decided to be transgenderman. He been, this dude, Robert Dorgan, been assaulted by his wife and threatened by his, we'll say, uncle / father-in-law. Check this out.
Learning more about the killer through newly unveiled court documents.
NBC 10 investigator Ryan Kath went through those documents. He has more on what he found out.
Criminal records and a divorce case the NBC 10 investigators reviewed here at Family Court in Providence reveal a recent history of domestic violence allegations. Documents show the source of the conflict was Dorgan's changing gender identity. According to police, Rhode Island shooter Robert Dorgan also went by Roberta Esposito.
She loved
In a divorce case filed in February 2020, Rhonda Dorgan first listed gender reassignment surgery, narcissistic personality traits as grounds for the separation.
So I want you to understand that was she wrote down at first, but then she scratched the shit off and put irreconcilable differences. Let's continue.
Then crossed that out and wrote irreconcilable differences, which caused the breakdown of the marriage. That same month, this police report says Dorgan's mom, Joanne, showed up at a high school hockey game and allegedly punched Dorgan in the face and said, "I want you to hit me so I can have you arrested." Oh, hell no! Police charged her with assault. And just a couple weeks later, Dorgan's father-in-law was accused of telling Dorgan to drop those charges or, quote, he would hire an Asian gang to kill him.
I want you to understand that his father-in-law, AKA his uncle, Uncle Dorgan, threatened him with using Asian gangs. I'm shocked he didn't say the black gang, but he said Asian gang to handle that. Beat your ass. Oh no. Take care of him. So he's been threatened by all his in-laws / uncles and cousins and aunties. Let's continue. What a bizarre, twisted shit here.
In the witness statement, Dorgan referenced a recent sex change operation and wrote, "I am now in great fear of bodily harm due to these threats."
So this is why I put this on Victim of Volunteer, because as we see so far, besides the bizarre, you know, with the anti-black, racist, anti-Asian, him becoming transgender, but him getting assaulted by his wife, getting threatened by his uncle father-in-law, smacked around, threatened by his cousin wife or ex-wife, and he said that he feared great bodily harm due to these threats.
Buttermilk biscuits.
What do y'all think about that?
The shit.
Do you think that's the reason why he decided to go ahead and go to Weasel?
Pop, go to Weasel.
Records show the criminal cases were dismissed because Dorgan had moved to Florida and no longer wished to pursue criminal charges. After nearly 30 years of marriage, the divorce was finalized in 2021. In Providence, Ryan Kath, NBC 10 Investigators.
This is some crazy, bizarre ass shit. But despite all that, you see that he was assaulted by his cousin / wife or ex-wife. I don't know. I'm not sure if they were still married when she did it or they were divorced. But either way, cousin ex or whatever. I'm just gonna say cousin ex-wife smack him and hit me back. So I called the police on your ass. Feminism. And get threatened by the uncle father-in-law. And maybe that would lured him to do what he did that day at the hockey rink. But all I can say is you can't make up. With Cal's gang, regardless of how crazy and bizarre it is, I got to know. When it comes to 56-year-old Robert Dorgan, transgender, I got to know, is he a victim or volunteer?